What's up guys, Husto7 here, and today I've got a video and a discussion to talk about some bans and some resets that may or may not be happening to players who exploited the key glitch that happened with the 12 days of winter in Infinite Warfare. So let's start with the background and get everyone up to speed. Basically what happened was on one of the days, I think it was the second or third, it doesn't really matter, but on one of the days for the 12 days of winter event for Infinite Warfare, you could unlock a package which contained keys over and over again, and it could just be opened indefinitely. And they did patch it, but there were many people who opened so many keys that they were able to basically just purchase thousands, of supply drops and get every single weapon and item in the game. It spread around on the official Reddit, it spread around on Twitter, there were YouTube videos, and a lot of people tried to take advantage of this as quickly as they can. Now, in their defense, they didn't do necessarily anything wrong. They didn't use any type of mod or any type of, they didn't affect the code or the files of this game in any way. The developers made a mistake by allowing this to happen, and they took advantage of it. So that's sort of their defense. The other side says, well, it's not fair because, they have now all the epic weapons, they now have everything that they, could possibly want out of the game in terms of supply drop content, and that's not fair because other people, especially people who paid, for COD points, don't do that, by the way, don't pay for COD points, but the people who did, now feel like, well, they could have just done the exploit and they could have saved themselves, $100 or whatever on COD points. So that's kind of two sides of the argument, and basically what happened is that on the official forums it says that this counts as an exploit, and it actually says in their terms of service that the exploits can result in a rank reset or could result in your items being reset. Well, what happened was that players who took advantage of this exploit, they were caught. It was probably pretty easy to catch people who, all of a sudden started getting 30 keys over and over and over again. What happened to them is they received a 48-hour ban, and I believe they had their keys and their salvage reset, and that's it. No rank reset, they didn't have their weapons relocked, anything like that. And a lot of people in the community are feeling like maybe that wasn't enough, that they should have had their rank reset, or they should have had at least the items that they got out of the exploit, or maybe even all of their items relocked as a form of punishment. So I want to first just kind of get your guys' opinion. What do you think about this? Was anyone affected by the ban? Was anyone have an opinion either way? Be sure to leave me a comment on this video, or you can post on my Twitter at Husto7 and let me know. But basically that's the state of things that have happened right now. So because of the outrage from people on the community, there was a community response on the official Reddit, and I'll have another video taking you through some of the other aspects of that. But one of the aspects was cheating. They let us know in the community update that VAC is going to be enabled on Steam, which it is at the time of recording this video, to try and reduce some of the PC cheaters. And they also said that they're going to be reinvestigating the punishments that were handed out to players who farmed the exploit glitch, and possibly wiping or resetting their accounts, or maybe issuing a longer ban, more than the 48 hours. Now, these players have already served their 48-hour ban sentences, so it's interesting to see that now they're reevaluating the punishment. So this is where the debate is coming into play, which is it fair to punish the players who took advantage of the exploit? And this is where I'm gonna say, and I don't hope to get lots of hate about this, but honestly, I don't necessarily think it's fair to punish those players. I think it sucks. Anytime I find an exploit in a game that seems like it's going to be majorly game-breaking, I mean, I try to be relevant, I try to stay up to date, especially in the Call of Duty games, about information, so I tend to know about exploits. I knew when this experience exploit with Capture the Flag came out, never did it once, right? But I saw videos about it, didn't make a video about it because I don't want, my fans and subscribers to be doing exploits that risk getting banned, and they say, well, Husto7 showed me this video and now I'm banned. I don't want that happening, but I don't necessarily think that doing exploits really, if they're small exploits, is really bad. We've all come across someone who's been got out of the map, and that's annoying, and you can report those players in game, and I always do. I'm that guy, I'm the hall monitor, whatever you want to say, who finds someone who exploiting, get out of a map, and I always report them. And there's in-game tools, there's forum tools, there's Twitter, there's ways to report players that are being a nuisance in the game. But this was a little bit more interesting because players were able to get all of their keys and salvage, and that's what I think is making this more interesting, because basically I don't necessarily think it's fair to issue more severe penalties to these players, because they were doing something that the whole point of supply drops is that it's just supposed to be like additives to the game. It's just supposed to be little fun things. It's not supposed to be game breaking. It's not supposed to be something that is a core part of the game. You should be able to have the full Call of Duty experience when you play this game without having to purchase COD points, without having to buy supply drops. And so the fact that there's now such an emphasis on the people who exploit it to get these extra items, how that is considered like a game-breaking glitch, you know, like, I really think that that says something about the state of supply drops and the state of these items in the supply drops and the value that they have. And there's a lot of money, I think, pouring in to Infinity Ward and Activision for these microtransactions for COD points, and I wish it would stop. You know, I've made so many videos, I've posted on Twitter so much about this that at this point I think I'm beating a dead horse. But I wish that people would just stop giving their money in terms of COD points and would just, you know, write that off, boycott that, so that that would hopefully not be how Call of Duty is defined moving forward. But because that's where we're at, it seems like that this is sort of now a central, a critical, an integral part of Infinite Warfare, and probably of the Call of Duty franchise moving forward, which is why they, I think, are considering issuing more severe penalties for people who did this exploit. So there you have it. That's my opinion. Let me know what happens. I'll be trying to stay up to date on if they do issue any more bans or if they do issue any resets, and I'll be sure to post on Twitter and make a video about that as well. Like I said, let me know if you were affected by this, and be sure to leave me your opinion either in the comments or on my Twitter about what you think about this whole exploit key situation. If you think the 48-hour ban was enough, or if you think that there should be more bans, more resets, let me know what you think. And there you go. That's my video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You can subscribe to stay up to date on all of my videos for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate it.